My beloved soul, something extraordinary is about to unfold, and you were not brought here by accident. There is a reason your eyes are fixed on this message at this exact moment. There is a reason your spirit feels a quiet pull, a whisper you cannot ignore. Because what I am about to reveal is not ordinary. It is rare, sacred, and destined for those who are ready to receive it. July 2nd is not just another day. It is a divinely marked moment in time, a spiritual doorway that opens only for those whose hearts are being prepared right now. And in this very moment, Archangel Michael is extending a personal invitation to you. Yes, you. Not the crowd. Not the distracted. But you. The one who feels there is something more, something deeper, something unseen guiding your life. You may not fully understand why you feel this stirring inside your chest, why certain things no longer satisfy you, why you've been pulled away from noise, confusion, and chaos. That is not random. That is alignment beginning. That is heaven gently calling your soul into position. Listen carefully, because this is where everything shifts. On July 2nd, you are being invited to witness something most people will never see in their lifetime. The beauty of a soul that is completely aligned with heaven. A life where fear loses its grip. A life where confusion is replaced with clarity. A life where protection surrounds you like an invisible shield, and favor flows into your path without force. But here is the shocking truth: this is not just about observing someone else. This is about you becoming that soul. There is a version of you that already exists in the spiritual realm, calm, protected, guided, and walking in perfect harmony with divine timing. And Archangel Michael is stepping forward now to show you exactly how to step into that version of yourself. On someday, lot years from now, but beginning now, as this divine moment approaches. You may have felt lost recently. You may have questioned your direction, your purpose, or even your worth. But what if I told you those moments were not setbacks? What if they were actually preparation? What if every delay, every confusion, every closed door was clearing the path for something far greater than you could have imagined? Because when a soul begins to align with heaven, everything changes. The battles you once fought alone you no longer fight. The fear that once controlled your decisions, it begins to fade. The uncertainty that clouded your vision, it lifts like morning fog. And in its place, something powerful emerges. Peace that does not break, strength that does not shake, and guidance that never leaves. Archangel Michael does not arrive in moments like this without purpose. His presence signals protection, truth, and divine order being restored. And right now, he is preparing to reveal what your life can truly look like when you walk under that protection. But understand this: not everyone will recognize this invitation. Many will scroll past it. Many will ignore the feeling stirring inside them. What you didn't. You stop. You listen. And that alone is a sign that your soul is ready. So stay with this message, because what is about to unfold will open your eyes in ways you never expected. The life you've been searching for, the peace you've been longing for, the protection you didn't even know was possible, it is all closer than you think. And it begins with this divine invitation. There is something your soul has always known, even when your mind could not explain it, a quiet awareness that life is not meant to feel like constant struggle, confusion, and exhaustion. That deep knowing is not imagination. It is memory. It is the echo of what it truly means to be aligned with heaven. To be in alignment with heaven does not mean your life becomes perfect in the way the world defines perfection. It means something far greater. It means your inner world becomes steady, even when the outer world is uncertain. It means you begin to move with a rhythm that is not forced, not rushed, but divinely timed. It means that instead of chasing everything, the right things begin to find you. right now, in ways you cannot see with your physical eyes. There are shifts happening around you. Spiritual realignment is taking place. Paths are being redirected. Energies are being cleared. And most importantly, your soul is being gently guided into a position where it can finally receive what has been waiting for it. This is why things may have felt different lately. You may have noticed certain people drifting away from your life without explanation. Conversations that once felt meaningful now feel empty. Places that once brought comfort now feel unfamiliar. This is not loss. This is separation for alignment. Heaven cannot pour clarity into a life that is constantly surrounded by noise. So what does it do? It creates space. And sometimes that space feels uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels like loneliness. Sometimes it feels like confusion. But in truth, it is preparation. Because alignment requires stillness before it brings direction. It requires release before it brings renewal. Many people never reach this stage because they resist it. They try to hold on to what is being removed. They try to force what is not meant to stay. And in doing so, they delay their own alignment. But you are beginning to let go, even if you do not fully understand why. And that is why this message has found you. Alignment with heaven begins the moment you stop fighting what your soul already knows. It begins when you trust that what is leaving is not meant to remain. It begins when you allow yourself to be guided, even when the path is not fully visible. And most importantly, it begins when you open your heart to divine order instead of trying to control every outcome. This is where Archangel Michael steps in. His role is not just protection in the physical sense. His role is to bring order where there has been chaos, to cut away what no longer belongs, to stand between you and the forces that try to keep you stuck in fear, doubt, and confusion. When you begin to align with heaven, His presence becomes stronger in your life, not because He was ever absent, but because you are now able to recognize His guidance. And His guidance does not come in loud, overwhelming ways. It comes in clarity, sudden understanding where there was once confusion, a sense of peace in decisions that once felt heavy, a quiet confidence that you are being led, even when you cannot see the full picture. These are not coincidences. These are signs of alignment. But here is what most people misunderstand. Alignment is not something you achieve once and then forget. It is something you live. It is a daily surrender, a daily trust, a daily decision to follow what feels true rather than what feels easy. And as July 2nd approaches, this alignment becomes even more important. Because that day is not just a moment of witnessing. It is a moment of activation. A moment where the alignment you have been stepping into begins to reveal its full beauty. A moment where you will start to see, clearly, what your life looks like when it is guided by heaven instead of controlled by fear. So if you have been feeling the shift, if you have been sensing that something is changing within you, do not ignore it. You are not losing your way. You are finding it. There is a sacred shift that begins to happen when a soul truly aligns with heaven, and it does not arrive with noise or spectacle. It arrives quietly, deeply, almost like a whisper that settles into your spirit. And if you have been paying attention to your inner world, you may have already started to feel it, that unexplainable calm, that steady sense that something is holding you together even when life feels uncertain. This is the first sign. A soul aligned with heaven begins to experience peace that does not depend on circumstances. It is not the kind of peace the world offers, the kind that comes and goes based on outcomes or situations. This peace remains, even in moments where you would have once felt overwhelmed. It anchors you. It steadies you. And it reminds you that you are not navigating life alone. You may have noticed that situations that once triggered anxiety now feel different. Not because the situation itself has changed, but because you have. There is a quiet strength rising within you, one that does not react the same way anymore. Where there was once fear, there is now observation. Where there was once panic, there is now patience. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. And alongside this peace comes something equally powerful: clarity. When a soul begins to align with heaven, confusion starts to dissolve. The constant overthinking, the endless questioning, the mental noise that once filled your mind, it begins to quiet down. And in its place, there is a knowing, a simple, clear understanding of what feels right and what does not. You begin to recognize what drains your energy and what restores it. You begin to see through illusions that once distracted you. And most importantly, you begin to trust your inner guidance again. This clarity is one of the ways Archangel Michael communicates with you. He does not always speak in words. Instead, he removes what blocks your vision so you can see clearly for yourself. He cuts through confusion like a sword of truth, separating what is real from what is false. And when that happens, decisions that once felt impossible suddenly become simple. But there is another sign, one that many overlook: protection. When your soul aligns with heaven, you are not just guided, you are guarded. There is an unseen shield that begins to surround your life. Situations that could have harmed you somehow miss you. Doors that would have led you into trouble close before you even reach them. People with wrong intentions reveal themselves before they can come too close. At first, you may not even notice it. It may feel like coincidence, like luck. But over time, you begin to realize that something greater is at work. That is the presence of Archangel Michael. He stands as a protector, not just in moments of danger, but in the quiet details of your life. He redirects you when necessary. He delays you when something is not safe. He guides your steps away from harm, even when you do not understand why certain things are not working out. And here is the truth that will change everything. What you once saw as rejection may have been protection. What you once saw as delay may have been divine timing. What you once saw as loss may have been alignment. When you begin to see your life through this lens, everything shifts. You no longer feel like life is happening against you. You begin to understand that it is happening for you, guiding you, shaping you, and preparing you for something greater. And as this realization deepens, your trust begins to grow. You stop forcing outcomes. You stop chasing what is not meant for you. And instead, you begin to walk with a quiet confidence, knowing that what is meant for you will not pass you by. This is the beauty of a soul aligned with heaven. It does not struggle to prove itself. It does not fight to control everything. It moves with grace, with trust, and with an unshakable sense of being guided. And right now, this is exactly what is unfolding within you. So if you feel that peace, hold on to it. If you notice that clarity, trust it. If you sense that protection, honor it. Because these are not small things. These are sacred signs that you are stepping into alignment. Type "I receive divine protection" in the comments if this message is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 528 has just been released over your life. And as this protection surrounds you, hear this clearly: this message is not just meant to stay with you. It is meant to reach those who are still searching, those who are still lost in confusion, those who are waiting for a sign just like you once were. When you choose to support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are helping light reach souls who are still walking in darkness. The word says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise being spoken over you right now. I feel led to say this if this message has touched your spirit. This is your moment to act. Sow into this mission as a seed of faith. Whether through super thanks or through the PayPal link placed in the description and QR code before you, let your giving become a river that flows into the lives of others. Do not hesitate, because obedience opens doors that effort never can. As you give, may protection multiply over your life, may clarity increase, and may favor begin to chase you in ways you have never experienced before. Step into this moment. Act now. There is a quiet beauty that begins to unfold in the life of a soul walking in harmony with heaven, and it is not loud or boastful. It does not demand attention. Instead, it reveals itself through a life that begins to flow in ways that once felt impossible. What used to feel like constant resistance slowly transforms into a rhythm of ease, not because challenges disappear, but because you are no longer fighting against divine timing. You see, harmony with heaven is not about controlling every outcome. It is about trusting the one who already sees the outcome. And when that trust begins to take root within you, something remarkable happens. You stop rushing. You stop forcing. You stop trying to make things happen before their time. And in that surrender, life begins to meet you differently. Have you noticed how certain things are starting to align without you pushing so hard? Conversations happen at the right moment. Opportunities appear when you least expect them. Answers come when you finally release the need to figure everything out. This is not coincidence. This is divine harmony at work. A soul in alignment with heaven does not live in chaos, even when the world around them feels chaotic. There is an inner stillness that becomes their foundation, and from that stillness, they are able to respond to life instead of reacting to it. This is one of the most powerful transformations you will experience. Before alignment, everything feels urgent. Every decision feels heavy. Every delay feels frustrating. But after alignment begins, urgency is replaced with patience. You begin to understand that what is meant for you cannot be rushed, and what is not meant for you cannot be forced to stay. This understanding frees you. It frees you from the pressure of trying to control everything. It frees you from the anxiety of feeling like you are falling behind. And most importantly, it frees you from comparing your journey to others. Because when you are in harmony with heaven, your path is no longer measured by the world's timeline. It is guided by divine timing. And divine timing is always precise. There are moments when doors will open suddenly, without warning. And there will be moments when doors remain closed, no matter how much effort you put in. But here is what changes within you. No longer see closed doors as rejection. You see them as direction. You begin to trust that if something is not unfolding, there is a reason. If something is delayed, there is protection within that delay. And if something is removed, it is making space for something better aligned with your purpose. This is where many people struggle, because harmony requires patience. It requires you to trust even when you cannot see the full picture. It requires you to stay grounded even when answers are not immediate. But as you continue to walk in this alignment, you begin to realize that every moment of waiting has meaning. Nothing is wasted. Every pause, every redirection, every unexpected turn is shaping your path in ways you could not have planned on your own. And this is why a soul aligned with heaven begins to experience a life that feels guided rather than random. You start to notice patterns. You begin to see how certain events connect. You realize that what once felt like coincidence was actually orchestration. And in the middle of this harmony, Archangel Michael continues to guide you. Not by removing every challenge, but by strengthening your spirit so that challenges no longer shake you. He brings order to your thoughts, calm to your emotions, and clarity to your path. His presence helps you remain steady, even when everything around you feels uncertain. And this steadiness becomes your power. Because when you are steady, you are not easily distracted. You are not easily discouraged. You are not easily pulled away from your path. You remain focused, grounded, and aligned. This is the life you are being invited into. A life where you no longer feel like you are constantly chasing something just out of reach. A life where you begin to walk in step with divine timing, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. So if things have been slowing down for you, do not resist it. If life has been asking you to be patient, do not fight it. Because what feels like a pause may actually be alignment taking place. And what feels like stillness may actually be preparation for something far greater than you can currently see. Stay in that harmony, because it is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. There is a moment in every aligned soul's journey where something begins to happen that cannot be explained by logic alone. It is not something you can force, predict, or even fully understand at first. It simply begins to unfold quietly, consistently, and undeniably. This is what is known as supernatural favor. Supernatural favor is not luck. It is not coincidence. And it is not reserved for a chosen few. It is the natural result of a life that has come into alignment with heaven. When your soul is in the right position, when your heart is no longer resisting divine order, favor begins to flow in ways that feel almost unbelievable. You may start to notice it in small things at first. A delay that once frustrated you suddenly reveals itself as protection when you realize what you avoided. A missed opportunity leads to something far greater that you never saw coming. A random conversation opens a door you did not even know existed. These moments may seem simple on the surface, but they carry something deeper. They carry intention. Because when supernatural favor begins to operate in your life, nothing is random anymore. Everything becomes purposeful. There are people who will enter your life at the exact moment you need them, carrying answers, support, or opportunities that align perfectly with your path. And just as importantly, there are people who will be removed not out of punishment, but out of protection. This is favor working in ways you may not immediately recognize. It is not always about what is added. Sometimes it is about what is taken away. And as this favor increases, you will begin to experience something that once felt rare: doors opening without struggle. Opportunities that once required constant effort and exhaustion begin to appear with ease. Situations that once felt blocked suddenly shift in your favor. And you may find yourself asking, why is this happening now? The answer is simple, yet powerful, because you are now aligned. Alignment changes access. It places you in positions where the right things can reach you. It connects you with the right people. It moves you into environments where your growth is supported instead of hindered. And all of this happens not because you are forcing it, but because you are flowing with divine timing. But here's something important to understand about supernatural favor. It does not mean you will never face challenges. In fact, there will still be moments that test your faith, your patience, and your trust. But the difference is this: those challenges will no longer break you. Instead, they will position you. They will refine you. They will strengthen the very alignment that is bringing favor into your life. And even in those moments, favor is still working. You may not see it immediately, but it is there, guiding outcomes, shifting circumstances, and ensuring that what is meant for you remains within your reach. This is why a soul under divine favor does not panic in difficulty. There is a quiet knowing that everything is still under control. This knowing is reinforced by the presence of Archangel Michael. He does not just protect you from harm, he positions you for favor. He stands as a guardian over your path, ensuring that what comes into your life aligns with your higher purpose. When something is not meant for you, He intervenes. When something is meant for you, He helps clear the way. This is why certain things begin to feel easier. Not because life itself has changed, but because your alignment has activated a different level of support. You are no longer moving alone. You are being guided, protected, and positioned in ways that your physical eyes may not fully see, but your spirit can feel. And as this favor continues to unfold, you will begin to notice something else. Gratitude will rise within you naturally. You will start to recognize the blessings in your life, both big and small. You will begin to see how far you have come, how much has already been done for you, and how much is still unfolding. And this gratitude will deepen your alignment even more, because gratitude keeps your heart open. It keeps you connected to the flow of divine favor. It reminds you that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, and not alone. You are seen, you are guided, and you are being led into a life that reflects the beauty of heaven's alignment. So when favor begins to show up in your life, do not question it. Receive it. When doors begin to open, walk through them. When blessings begin to flow, embrace them. Because this is not sluchakakien or estayuri. This is alignment revealing its reward. And this is only the beginning of what is being prepared for you. There is a deeper layer to this journey that many overlook, not because it is hidden, but because it speaks in ways the world has trained you to ignore. As your soul continues to align with heaven, communication begins to shift. It no longer comes only through words or external confirmation. Instead, it begins to flow through subtle, powerful impressions that speak directly to your spirit. This is how Archangel Michael begins to guide you more personally. You may have already experienced moments where you suddenly knew something without being told. A decision that once felt confusing becomes clear in an instant. A path that seemed uncertain suddenly feels right, even if you cannot explain why. This is not guesswork. This is divine communication. It often begins with intuition, that quiet inner voice that gently nudges you in a certain direction. It does not shout. It does not force. It's simply presence and knowing. And the more aligned you become, the stronger and clearer that knowing feels. You begin to trust it, not because you have proof, but because it consistently leads you toward peace rather than confusion. But intuition is only one way this guidance flows. There are also signs. These signs may appear in ways that feel almost too perfect to be random. Repeating numbers catching your attention at just the right moment. Words or messages appearing that answer questions you were silently asking. Encounters that feel orchestrated, as if you were meant to be in that exact place at that exact time. Many people dismiss these moments. They call them coincidence. But when you are aligned, you begin to see them differently. You begin to recognize that they are confirmations. Gentle reminders that you are being guided, that you are not alone in your decisions, and that your path is being directed with intention. Then there are dreams. Dreams become a powerful channel when your soul is in alignment with heaven. Not every dream carries meaning, but there are those that feel different. They stay with you when you wake up. They carry emotions, messages, or symbols that linger in your mind. These are not ordinary dreams. They are moments where your spirit receives insight beyond the limitations of the physical world. Archangel Michael can use these moments to reveal truth, to bring clarity, or even to warn you when something is not aligned. And while the message may not always be immediately clear, the feeling it leaves behind often is. Pay attention to that feeling, because your spirit understands even when your mind is still catching up. There is also a form of guidance that comes through sudden clarity, You may be going about your day, thinking about something that has been weighing on you, and then without warning the answer comes. Not slowly, not through analysis, but instantly. It feels like a light turning on in a dark room. Everything that once felt complicated suddenly makes sense. This is not your mind figuring things out. This is alignment, allowing truth to reach you without resistance. And as this communication becomes more consistent, something within you begins to change. You stop seeking constant validation from the outside world. You stop needing everyone else to agree with your decisions, because you begin to trust what you are receiving internally. This trust is powerful. It allows you to move forward with confidence, even when others do not understand your choices. It allows you to stay grounded in your path, even when distractions try to pull you away. And most importantly, it keeps you connected to the guidance that is leading you toward your purpose. But here is something you must remember: this communication requires stillness. It cannot be heard in constant noise. It cannot be recognized in a distracted mind. This is why you may have felt a pull toward quiet moments lately, a desire to step away from unnecessary conversations, from overwhelming environments, from anything that disrupts your inner peace. That is not isolation. That is preparation. Because in stillness, your awareness sharpens. In stillness, your spirit becomes more receptive. And in stillness, the guidance you have been seeking becomes clear. Archangel Michael does not force his presence into chaos. He meets you where there is openness, where there is willingness, where there is trust. And as you continue to create space for that connection, his guidance will become even more evident in your life. You will begin to recognize the difference between fear and truth. You will begin to sense when something is aligned and when it is not. You will begin to walk with a certainty that does not depend on external confirmation. This is how you know you are being led. So do not ignore the signs. Do not dismiss your intuition. Do not overlook the moments of clarity that come when you least expect them. Because these are not random experiences. They are the voice of guidance, gently leading you forward. And the more you listen, the clearer the path will become. There is a truth that must be revealed at this stage of your journey, because not everything that keeps a soul from alignment is visible. In fact, some of the strongest forces working against your alignment are subtle, quiet, and deeply rooted in patterns you may not even realize you have been carrying. These are the hidden blocks. They do not always appear as obvious obstacles. Sometimes they feel like normal thoughts. Or that you have lived with for so long that they seem like a part of who you are. But they are not who you are. They are layers that have formed over time, and now, as you move closer to alignment, they are being exposed so they can be released. One of the most powerful of these blocks is fear. Not just the fear of danger, but the fear of change. The fear of stepping into something unfamiliar. The fear of losing what feels comfortable, even if it no longer serves you. This fear often disguises itself as logic. It tells you to stay where you are because it is safe. It convinces you that moving forward is risky, that trusting the unknown is dangerous. But what it does not tell you is that staying in misalignment is the greater risk. Because when you stay in places, relationships, or patterns that no longer align with your soul, you begin to feel it. You feel it as restlessness. You feel it as dissatisfaction. You feel it as a quiet sense that something is not right, even if everything looks fine on the surface. This is your soul, resisting misalignment. Another hidden block is doubt. Doubt in yourself. Doubt in your path. Doubt in whether you are truly being guided. This doubt can be subtle, appearing as overthinking, hesitation, or constant second-guessing. It creates noise in your mind, making it difficult to hear the clarity that is trying to reach you. And the more you listen to that doubt, the louder it becomes. It begins to question every step you take. It makes you feel like you need proof for everything before you move forward. But alignment does not always come with visible proof. Sometimes, it comes with a quiet knowing that asks you to trust before you fully understand. Then there is the block of negative energy. This can come from environments, from people, or even from your own internal patterns. Being surrounded by constant negativity drains your spirit. It clouds your clarity. It pulls your focus away from what is aligned and toward what is heavy and distracting. And the most challenging part is that negative energy often feels normal when you have been around it for too long. But as you begin to align with heaven, your sensitivity increases. You start to notice what feels off. You begin to recognize when something is draining you instead of uplifting you. And this awareness is not meant to isolate you, it is meant to guide you, to show you what needs to change, to reveal what needs to be released. And this is where Archangel Michael's role becomes even more powerful. He is not only a protector from external harm, he is a remover of internal barriers. He works within your life to cut away what no longer belongs. This may come in the form of sudden realizations. It may come through situations that force you to confront what you have been avoiding. It may even come through discomfort that pushes you out of your comfort zone. This process is not always easy. There may be moments where you feel uncertain, where you question why certain things are being taken away or why certain situations are becoming difficult. But what you must understand is this removal is not punishment. It is preparation. Every block that is being revealed is an opportunity for release. Every discomfort is a signal that something is shifting. Every challenge is a doorway to deeper alignment. And as you move through this process, something within you begins to strengthen. You start to recognize fear when it appears, and instead of letting it control you, you observe it. You begin to notice doubt, and instead of believing it, you question it. You become aware of negative energy, and instead of absorbing it, you create distance from it. This awareness is transformation. It means you are no longer unconsciously reacting. You are consciously choosing. And that choice is what brings you closer to alignment. Because alignment is not about being perfect. It is about being aware. It is about recognizing what pulls you away from your true path and having the courage to release it. It is about trusting that what is being removed is making space for something better. And it is about allowing yourself to grow beyond the patterns that once held you back. So if you have been feeling discomfort lately, do not fear it. If you have been noticing things that no longer feel right, do not ignore them. Because these are not signs that something is wrong. They are signs that something is being cleared. And as these blocks are removed, you are being prepared for the next level of alignment, one that will change everything. There comes a moment in this journey where everything you have been feeling, questioning, and experiencing begins to come together in a single, powerful shift. It is not loud. It is not dramatic in the way the world expects transformation to be. But within you, something changes so deeply that you can never return to who you were before. This is the moment of transformation. It often begins in surrender. Not the kind of surrender that feels like giving up, but the kind that feels like finally letting go of the weight you were never meant to carry. It is the moment you stop trying to control every detail of your life. The moment you release the need to have every answer. The moment you trust, even without seeing the full picture. And in that surrender, alignment accelerates. You may have reached a point recently where you realize that forcing things is no longer working. That chasing outcomes is leaving you drained. That holding on to what feels familiar is no longer bringing peace. That realization is not failure, it is awakening. Because awakening begins when you see clearly what no longer serves you. There may have been a specific moment, a conversation, a situation, or even a quiet realization when everything shifted inside you. You saw something differently. You felt something deeper. You understood something you had been overlooking. That was your turning point. And from that moment forward, something within you began to realign. You started to choose peace over chaos. You started to choose truth over illusion. You started to choose trust over fear. These choices may seem small, but they are powerful. Because every time you choose alignment, you strengthen it. Every time you choose what feels right over what feels easy, you move closer to the life that heaven has prepared for you. And this is where many people hesitate. Because transformation requires letting go. Letting go of old habits. Letting go of certain people. Letting go of patterns that once felt like part of your identity. And even though you know these things are no longer aligned, releasing them can feel uncomfortable. But here is the truth you need to hear: you are not losing anything that is meant for you. What is truly aligned with your soul will remain. What is not will fall away, no matter how tightly you try to hold on to it. And the sooner you accept this, the easier your transformation becomes. Because alignment is not about adding more to your life. It is about removing what no longer belongs. And as this removal happens, space is created. Space for clarity. Space for peace. Space for divine direction to enter your life fully. This is why surrender is so powerful. It opens the door for what control was blocking. And in this space, Archangel Michael's presence becomes even more active. He strengthens your courage to release what is not aligned. He supports you in moments where doubt tries to return. He stands beside you as you step into the unknown, reminding you that you are not walking alone. You may not always feel confident during this transformation, but you will feel guided. And that guidance is enough. Because step by step, you are being led into a version of your life that reflects harmony, protection, and favor. A version where you no longer feel like you are constantly searching for something missing. A version where you begin to feel complete within yourself. This is what alignment creates. Not perfection, but wholeness. Not control, but trust. Not struggle, but flow. So if you feel like you are in the middle of change right now, embrace it. If you feel like parts of your life are shifting, allow it. If you feel like you are being called to let go, listen. Because this is your transformation unfolding. This is your moment of stepping into alignment. And everything you have been through has been leading you here. Type "I step into alignment" in the comments if you are ready to receive this transformation. Blessing code 819 has now been activated in your life. And as this transformation opens before you, understand this: you are not the only one being called. There are countless souls still waiting for this very awakening, still searching for a message that will shift their path the way this one is shifting yours. When you choose to give, you are not simply offering support, you are planting seeds into lives that are ready to change. The word declares, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy," and right now, that promise is being extended to you. I feel this strongly. This is a divine moment of action. If your spirit has been moved, do not hold back. Release your seed through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link provided in the description and QR code. Let your giving become a river that carries this message further than you can see. As you step forward in faith, may doors open before you, may protection surround you, and may favor overflow into every area of your life. Move now, in obedience, and watch what heaven does next. There is a powerful shift that becomes undeniable once your soul fully steps into alignment with heaven. It is not just something you feel within. It begins to shape the way your entire life unfolds around you. You start to move through the world differently, not because everything becomes easy, but because you are no longer vulnerable in the same way. This is what it means to live under divine protection. It is not the absence of challenges. It is the presence of strength, clarity, and guidance within those challenges. Where you once felt exposed, uncertain, and easily shaken, you now begin to feel covered, steady, and aware. There is a quiet confidence that follows you, not loud or boastful, but deeply rooted. You begin to notice that situations which would have overwhelmed you in the past no longer have the same power over you. You respond instead of react. You pause instead of panic. You observe instead of absorb. This is not a small change, this is transformation at its core. Because when you are under divine protection, your perspective shifts. You no longer see obstacles as barriers. You begin to see them as stepping stones. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your trust. Each difficulty becomes a moment where your alignment is tested and, if you remain grounded, reinforced. There is something incredibly powerful about this stage of your journey. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and instead begin to ask, "What is this preparing me for?" That single shift in perspective changes everything. It removes the sense of victimhood and replaces it with awareness. It allows you to see that even in moments of difficulty, there is guidance present. And this guidance is not passive. Archangel Michael is actively working within your life, ensuring that even the challenges you face do not take you off your path. He does not always remove the obstacle, but he strengthens you to rise above it. He ensures that what is meant to harm you loses its power before it can reach you fully. There will be moments where you realize that something could have gone much worse, but it did not. Moments where you avoided something without even trying. Moments where the outcome worked in your favor, even when the situation seemed uncertain. These are not accidents. These are signs of protection. And as you begin to recognize them, your trust deepens even further. You start to move with a sense of assurance that you are being guided and guarded at the same time. This does not make you careless. Instead, it makes you more aware, more intentional, and more aligned with your decisions. You begin to listen more closely to your intuition. You begin to move away from what feels wrong without needing external validation. You begin to stand firm in your choices, even when others do not understand them. This is the strength that comes from alignment. But there is something else that begins to happen as well. Fear starts to lose its grip. Not all at once, but gradually. The fears that once controlled your actions, your decisions, and your thoughts begin to fade. They no longer have the same authority over you. And in their place, something far greater begins to rise: courage. Not the kind of courage that ignores fear, but the kind that moves forward despite it. The kind that trusts that even if the path is uncertain, you are not unprotected. The kind that allows you to step into opportunities, to make changes, and to embrace growth without being held back by what might go wrong. This courage becomes a defining part of your life. It allows you to take steps that once felt impossible. It allows you to release what no longer serves you without hesitation. And it allows you to fully embrace the life that is unfolding before you. And as this happens, you begin to experience something that many spend their entire lives searching for: inner stability. No matter what is happening around you, there is a center within you that remains steady. A place where peace, clarity, and trust reside. And from that place, you are able to navigate anything that comes your way. This is the gift of divine protection. It does not remove you from life's challenges. It prepares you to walk through them with strength, awareness, and unshakable faith. So when challenges arise, do not fear them. When uncertainty appears, do not let it shake you, because you are not walking through this life unguarded. You are being guided. You are being protected. And every step you take is being watched over with purpose. Trust that, because this level of protection is not demonetized or demonetized. It is alignment fully activated in your life. There is a profound transformation that begins to unfold when your soul is no longer just aligned within, but that alignment starts to shape every area of your external life. It does not stay hidden inside your thoughts or your emotions. It begins to reflect in your relationships, your work, your purpose, and the direction your life takes as a whole. This is where alignment becomes visible. You begin to notice that your relationships start to change. Not always dramatically at first, but subtly, steadily. The connections that once felt heavy, draining, or confusing begin to lose their hold on you. You no longer feel the need to force conversations, to chase attention, or to maintain bonds that do not bring peace. Instead, something different begins to happen. You start to attract relationships that feel natural, conversations that flow without effort, people who understand you without needing constant explanation. There is a sense of mutual respect, clarity, and calm within these connections. This is not demonetized or demonetized. This is alignment influencing who is allowed to remain in your life. And just as new connections begin to form, some old ones may fall away. This is one of the most challenging parts of alignment, because it requires acceptance. Not every relationship is meant to continue into your next level. Some people were part of your journey, but not your destination. And as difficult as it may feel, releasing these connections creates space for something better aligned with who you are becoming. This same shift begins to appear in your work and your sense of purpose. You may start to feel a disconnect from things that once motivated you. Goals that once felt important may no longer carry the same energy. Paths that once seemed right may now feel uncertain or unfulfilling. This is not confusion, this is redirection. Because when your soul aligns with heaven, your purpose begins to come into clearer focus. You start to feel drawn toward things that resonate on a deeper level. Work that feels meaningful rather than just necessary. Actions that feel purposeful rather than forced. And while this transition may not always be immediate or easy, it is always intentional. You are being guided toward a life that reflects who you truly are, not just what you have been conditioned to pursue. And as this happens, opportunities begin to align with this new direction. You may find yourself in the right place at the right time. You may encounter people who open doors you did not even know existed. You may receive ideas, inspiration, or clarity that leads you toward something greater. These moments are not demonetized or demonetized. They are alignment manifesting in your external world. Archangel Michael plays a powerful role in this process. He not only protects your path, but he also helps direct it. He removes distractions that pull you away from your purpose. He strengthens your ability to recognize what is aligned and what is not. And he ensures that the opportunities that enter your life are in harmony with your higher calling. This is why certain things may no longer feel right, even if they once did. It is not because something is wrong with you. It is because you are no longer the same person. You are evolving. And as you evolve, your life must reflect that growth. This can feel uncomfortable at times, especially when you are stepping into the unknown. But there is something you must remember: alignment does not lead you into emptiness. It leads you into fulfillment. Every step you take in alignment brings you closer to a life that feels whole. A life where your relationships support your growth instead of draining it. A life where your work feels meaningful instead of exhausting. A life where your purpose becomes clear instead of confusing. And as this clarity grows, so does your confidence. You begin to trust your decisions more deeply. You begin to move forward without needing constant reassurance. You begin to stand firmly in your path, knowing that it is being guided. This confidence is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is the result of knowing that you are no longer moving blindly, but with direction and purpose. So if you have been noticing changes in your relationships, trust them. If your sense of purpose has been shifting, embrace it. If your path feels different than it once did, follow it. Because this is alignment extending into your life. This is heaven shaping your reality. And everything that is unfolding is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. There is a powerful sense of anticipation building now, something your spirit can feel even if your mind cannot fully explain it. It is as if everything you have been experiencing, every shift, every realization, every moment of clarity and discomfort, has been leading to a single point in time, and that point is approaching quickly. July 2nd is not simply a day, it is a turning point. It is a moment where what has been forming within you begins to reveal itself in ways that are undeniable. A moment where alignment is no longer something you are just feeling internally, but something you begin to witness in your reality. And this is why preparation is so important right now. Because what you are about to step into requires awareness. It requires you to be present, to be open, and to be willing to recognize what is being shown to you. Many people will move through that day like any other, distracted, unaware, and disconnected. But you are being called to something different. You are being called to see the beauty of a life aligned with heaven, to see how protection, harmony, and favor begin to operate in ways that cannot be ignored, to see how the pieces of your life begin to come together with a clarity that was not there before. But this moment is not just about observation, it is about decision. Because once you see what alignment truly looks like, you will be faced with a choice. A choice to continue walking this path, to fully step into the life that is being opened to you, or to return to old patterns that no longer serve you. And this is where your readiness matters. You have already come so far. You have begun to release what needed to be released. You have started to trust what once felt uncertain. You have allowed yourself to grow beyond what once held you back. All of this hath been preparation. Preparation for this moment. There may be something specific that becomes clear to you on that day. A realization that shifts your perspective completely. A situation that confirms what you have been feeling. An opportunity that aligns perfectly with your path. Or even a sense of peace so deep that it removes any remaining doubt within you. However it appears, you will know. Because alignment carries a feeling that cannot be mistaken. It feels right. It feels steady. It feels true. And when that moment comes, hesitation will be your greatest challenge. Because stepping fully into alignment requires commitment. It requires you to trust what you are being shown, even if it means stepping into the unknown. It requires you to leave behind what is familiar in order to embrace what is meant for you. But this is where Archangel Michael stands with you. Not ahead of you, not behind you, but beside you. He strengthens your courage in that moment of decision. He reminds you that you are not stepping into uncertainty alone. He assures you that what is being revealed to you is not SLHUCHAKINOSTYRI, but divine direction. And this is why fear must not lead you. Fear will try to make you hesitate. It will try to convince you to stay where you are, to question what you are feeling, to doubt what you are seeing. But you must recognize it for what it is: resistance to growth. Because everything within you already knows the truth. You feel it. You sense it. You recognize it. And that recognition is your confirmation. So as July 2nd approaches, stay aware. Pay attention to what you feel. Notice what is being revealed. Trust what becomes clear. Because this is not just another moment in time. This is a divine invitation reaching its peak. A moment where everything begins to align in a way that you can finally see, understand, and step into fully. You are not being asked to be perfect. You are being asked to be ready. Ready to trust. Ready to move. Ready to receive what has been prepared for you. Because what is coming is not SLUCHAIKAKLI nor STYURI. It is the result of everything you have been walking through. And now it is about to be revealed. Beloved soul, as this message comes to its closing, feel the stillness that is settling over you right now. Not emptiness, not silence without meaning, but a calm that carries understanding. Because deep within you, something has shifted. Something has become clear. And whether you can fully explain it or not, you know that you are not the same person who began this journey. You have been guided step by step into a deeper awareness of what it means to live in alignment with heaven. You have seen what peace truly feels like when it is not dependent on circumstances. You have recognized the quiet strength that comes from divine protection. You have understood how clarity replaces confusion, how favor replaces struggle, and how purpose begins to unfold when you stop resisting and start trusting. And now, as July 2nd stands before you, there is no need to fear it. There is no need to question whether you are ready. Because everything you have experienced, every shift you have felt, every realization that has come to you, it has all been preparing you for this exact moment. You are already stepping into alignment. You are already being guided. You are already protected. Let that truth settle into your spirit. There is nothing you need to force, nothing you need to chase, nothing you need to prove. The life that is meant for you is not something you have to struggle to reach. It is something you allow yourself to receive. And this is where peace becomes your foundation. Not temporary peace, not fragile peace, but a deep, steady knowing that no matter what unfolds, you are not alone. Archangel Michael walks with you, not as a distant presence, but as a constant guide, a protector who ensures that your steps are watched over, that your path is aligned, and that your spirit remains strong. So take a moment now and breathe. Release any remaining doubt. Release any lingering fear. Release the need to understand everything all at once. And simply trust. Trust that what is unfolding in your life is not SLUCHAIKAKLI nor STYURI. Trust that what is being removed is making space for something greater. Trust that what is coming is aligned with who you are becoming. Because you are not moving blindly into the future. You are being led into it. And as you continue forward, remember this alignment is not a destination you reach once. It is a way of living. A daily choice to remain in trust. A daily choice to listen to the guidance within you. A daily choice to walk in harmony with what feels true even when it is not easy. And the more you choose this, the more your life will reflect it. More peace. More clarity. More protection. More favor. This is your path now. To walk it with confidence. Walk it with trust. Walk it knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Type "I walk in divine alignment" in the comments if you receive this message with your whole heart. Lesson code 1441 is now sealing this message over your life. And as this message settles into your spirit, hear this calling. There are still souls out there standing where you once stood, searching for clarity, longing for peace, waiting for a sign that heaven has not forgotten them. When you give, you are not supporting a video, you are releasing light into their darkness. The Lord declares, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse and see if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing you cannot contain. This is that moment. I feel this deeply. I am choosing to be a vessel of this message. Let that be your declaration as you act now. Sow your seed through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link placed in the description and QR code. Do not delay what your spirit is urging you to do. As you give, may heaven respond with overflow, may protection increase around you, and may divine favor locate you in ways that will leave you in awe. Step forward in faith. Act now.